Yo, yo, yo.
Well, we're back.
KG low.
Island Boys Football Talk.
KG low.
You hear me?
Little
Hello.
louder. You still low.
I
You
still
gotta
low?
get loud. You gotta get loud for
Yeah.
today, you know. I
You
need to hear
low.
you today.
You
Huh?
low.
You're
Okay, now
good
you're
now.
good.
Okay.
All right. Welcome to another night of Island Boys Football Talk. We got Street in the building, K Jizzle in the building, and the playoff winner in the building.
And guess who we have to face in the NFC Championship?
The Rams. All
So
in your
Jizzle,
favor.
so
It's all
Jizzle,
in your favor.
All in my
Jizzle,
favor.
I was hearing all night last night that he loves when we go against him because it just means it's a guaranteed win. So before we continue the show, we all on the 49ers next week.
No, no. No, 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 no.
We
I need
all
to
on the
back
49ers.
are you back the Rams? I need to add back the Rams. The Rams look good today. They held on to the lead. Y'all need to back the Rams.
Well, so far we've had three games that came down to the opposing team field goal kicker kicking a game-winning field goal. You had
That's right.
McPherson for the Cincy. You had goal getting goal for San Fran,
Yep.
and then we had Matt Gay coming through. Well, what a beautiful pass by Stafford to Cooper Cup, and then Matt Gay wins. So these first three games was no shadows of
Good
excitement. And
playoff
this,
games. Great playoff games.
yeah, and this next game right now is a tight one going in halftime at
Mm-hmm.
14-14.
Yeah,
But
you know this game is gonna be tough. This
yeah,
game, these two powerhouses going at it.
but tonight
I think you're looking at the AFC champion out of these two teams here tonight.
I wouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't go
Since
that far neither.
since
I
it don't
wouldn't go
have
that far
enough,
neither.
don't
Since it
count out
surprised
Cincy.
me. Since it
Yeah,
surprised me
Right.
yesterday.
You win
I ain't gonna count out Cincy.
like Romo say, how do you win after you get sacked 9 times? He can't keep getting in licks that. He can't.
Yeah, they gonna make an adjustment.
How?
Let me make an adjustment.
They'll make an
How?
adjustment sheet. They'll make some
They make
adjustment.
adjustment all season. He's the number
Justin
one
Simmons.
sack in
Justin
his,
Simmons is an animal.
he's the number one sack quarterback in the league.
They, and they still end up in the AFC Championship.
That's okay. But I'm saying to tell you that he can't go and think he gonna play.
No, don't worry.
He got 9 sacks, he got 9 hits last night. How much hits you think he gonna get next week? Another 9?
No,
And
they,
then
they,
go- and then
he
play
ain't
that-
gonna get. He ain't gonna get 9 next week. Don't worry.
They get more.
No man, no. Well,
He got-
KG,
He
KG,
got
we,
his number, and then I don't
we
know.
gonna have to listen to Shane because he prediction, not prediction, well, everything he said about the 49ers happened. But we ain't listening to him outside of the 49ers. Me and you gonna talk about outside the NFL, outside the 49ers. We gotta listen to whatever you say about the 49ers, but
Let's
outside the
let's,
49ers, he can't talk. I don't want
let's
to hear
say
from him.
let's say how Aaron Rodgers had a choke job yesterday.
But before we go, we're gonna give Simone the mic.
No, but it's all of it, right? There's all of it.
You're the winner. We give you the mic. Me and Jizzle will chime in after. But you got the flow, partner. You the winning man tonight. So I gotta give you the flow. We giving you the flow.
Why you want me to say? Why you want me
Whatever
to
you wanna say.
I ain't got nothing to say, man.
We can't say nothing.
I want to keep quiet and keep moving. Because all the haters, all the doubters, write us off, and that's how you win it. That game last night nearly gave me pressure. Not nearly, give me pressure. You on the phone with me, you on the mic with me, shit. Our offense, I ain't gonna say our offensive line couldn't block nothing last night. That's the worst I ever see our offensive line look in all 17, 18, 19 games we played so far in this season. The worst. We couldn't run the ball. Couldn't give Jimmy no time. Compton or Rega were getting beat like he steals something from Gary all night.
Yeah, he was eating all night.
All night. KG messes and say bad play call on that 4th and 1. But I just try to show KG that the run was supposed to go to the outside. But Rashawn Gary beat the damn right guard, pushing in.
But you know he beat me all the time. Shade something that's away from he.
But you'll see the man saying you'll see when they had Trent Williams. Trent Williams come from the left to the right to help.
Right.
But by the time Trent get there, the man done pushed him in the
Right.
pocket.
So I just think Shanahan could have come up with something about double team and he and come up with some kind of scheme. Something.
But the players, and I tell you everything in Shanahan playbook, it's all about execution. The players have to execute. And if I send a whole left tackle from the left side to the right side to help you, you still getting blocked before the left tackle get it. He lucky he ain't pull. He lucky we ain't got no more depth. We gonna pull him. We gonna pull him. I watch a stat now. Tell you what a stat that Aaron Rodgers only threw to Devontae Adams in the whole second half. And I think
he was forcing the ball to Devontae Adams. He wasn't taking what the defense was giving him. He had a number of times he could have taken a check down to Aaron Jones. A number of times when Scantlin and them guys and Lazard running open. Because all the Nickel Ryan were doing all game was shading coverage over to Devontae Adams. Everything you see Devontae Adams get a catch, it was two guys in the area of Devontae Adams.
Yep. And so the only time Devontae get really catches is when.
And I don't blame Matt LaFleur, even though Matt LaFleur should have run the ball a little bit more. And Rodgers should have taken what the defense was giving him. He's a veteran quarterback. There's no excuses. There's no excuses for Aaron Rodgers at this point. He's a veteran quarterback. I understand that you have a Devontae Adams, but at the same time, take what the defense is giving you.
He has something to prove.
You are nothing to prove. If you got something to prove, you are nothing to prove. But you gonna force about it Devontae Adams 15 or 20 times?
He has something to prove.
No. He got to take full blame for that. Full blame. That's a choke job.
They were killing us on the dump off passes to Aaron Jones out of the backfield.
Keep going with it, exactly. And even on that 2nd and 11 play, it was the 3rd and 11 play when he went deep to friggin' Devontae Adams. You already know the safety shade in that way, right? You already know you're gonna have one-on-one on the outside, and you know you're gonna have friggin' Aaron Jones was wide open in the flat in the middle. I had to throw him the ball. He can't get at these 4 yards. Boom. You're gonna eventually end up at what? If not 3rd and 2, you're gonna end up at 4th and 2. Boom, you go for it, you run the ball, bang, you get first down. Simple. You don't have to overthink the game.
He got to take that.
And this is why, even though Brady lost it, this is why Brady is one of the greatest football players ever. Because Brady don't force the ball. Brady has to take what the defense giving him. He gonna force it. This is why.
He got to take that. Aaron
Rodgers got to take it.
Aaron Rodgers was doomed from the beginning of this season because of the nonsense he was going on with, and he got to take that. I think this is fitting. The way how is this how he Green Bay legacy? I think it's fitting that this happened to him this way.
This is why he fought NFC Championship game last.
Yeah.
You understand? That type of caliber quarterback shouldn't be losing championship games like that. You understand?
And that's what the analysts were talking about last night. This man in the league, 11, 12 seasons?
Yeah.
Been to the Super Bowl once?
Yeah.
And they win one Super Bowl in 12 seasons in the kind of quarterback. How much multiple MVPs this man have?
Right, exactly. He did not look good yesterday.
And that man say you can't blame the defense all the time.
Right, you can't blame the defense. Defense played yesterday.
Exactly.
Defense came out to play yesterday. LaFleur, I ain't blaming, even though LaFleur should have run the ball a little bit more, still ain't blaming him because the plays were there to be made. Because even on that, I think it was 2nd and 11 when he forced the ball to friggin' Cobb. He had to throw the ball to Cobb. You had Aaron Jones again opening the flat right there. He forced the ball to Cobb.
Early in the game, I tell you, they giving us this game and we don't want to take it. They were giving us that game and we don't think we almost pick him off. K1 almost pick him off with the same pick off play that he picked off back with. When he threw the ball on the inside, K1 jumped the rope and went to pick him off. The man went away from the Devontae Adams was killing us. When the man had a red scheme, the man ain't pulled Devontae and Mosley maybe 3-4 times in the game. That's the only time Devontae and Mosley line up on each other. And whenever that happened, he was not throwing to Devontae Adams. Other times, he put him in the slot or he would put him on the other side against Deontay Johnson. And then the other thing too about how pig-headed Aaron Rodgers is too, when Deontay Johnson get injured and Josh Norman come out, he forced the ball to Devontae Adams twice, not one time, twice. Mm-hmm. The first time he passed it and he didn't get it, he tried 2 shots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you try a shot, run another play. But what he do, he run the same play again and try to force it again to Devontae Adams, and the safety sitting right on top of the man.
Exactly. I don't understand.
Again, that's Aaron Rodgers' mentality. And he had a point to prove that he still lived in the past. He had a point to prove. They didn't really run the ball that much against us. I don't know if it was because it was their all effectiveness.
I know
why. The man
I
went
know
away.
why.
The man went away from the dump off passes they were doing to Aaron Jones that was killing us. The man had 100-something yards receiving off the backfield.
Are you playing a lot too safety deep?
We had to though.
Are you playing a lot too safety deep? So to counteract that,
you're trying to
play inside, play underneath.
All right, but he still wanted.
Why he constantly keep going deep?
He wanted to prove a point.
No. He got. I hope tomorrow on them shows they eat he alive tomorrow.
Let me tell you something. When you look at the game, Kyle was actually calling up a good plan. After we realized that we're getting stuff on the run, Kyle starts sending them receivers. Once you run by the linebacker, run a post, run an in, run a zig. Right? Them 3 passes that Jimmy hit them 3 receivers for, and all of them dropped them. The one to Kittle was a touchdown, If Kittle had catch that, was a touchdown, Because Kittle had nobody there. When Kittle cut behind that linebacker in between the safety, Kittle was gone. The one that Ayuk dropped, that was the Ali's on the drive, And then when Joanne Jennings dropped, that was right there. We running right behind the linebackers and cut them. That's all the man was doing. That's all we were running. We couldn't get a run going. Only thing we were doing when we did the run game was to keep them honest, to keep them line honest. But our offensive line couldn't block nothing to give Jimmy at least 3-4 seconds to throw the ball. Jimmy's one of the quicker releases in the game. He still couldn't have time to release the ball. But again, though, going back to for the time after when we started to win, after week 8, when we started with on our winning streak, I tell you, the 49ers is the most complete team in the NFL. I keep saying it. And last night, I think, prove it. Our offense line, I ain't even saying I keep saying the offense, but our offensive line was not doing a good job. Defense was holding on the fort, and we needed somebody to step up. And who step up? The special teams. 2 block punts. But no, a block field goal and a block punt return for a touchdown. Our special teams were off the chain last night. And that's what you need. And Green Bay couldn't do nothing because their offense went stagnant, their defense went stagnant, their special teams was horrible. And we went to Lambeau in 0-degree weather and beat them. And walk on there now. We sitting now waiting to go up. You don't take McVay over there like shit. I don't think McVay really wanted to win that game today. Again, he looked like he went to blow away the lead again. And I don't know. It's just, we can see.
You give credit to DeMeco because
DeMeco had a good defensive game play.
The first 2 series, they scored the touchdown and then they moved the ball pretty easy on that second series until Mercedes Lewis fumbled it. Remember me and you were talking, Shane, about what the points could have been if they had taken.
Yeah.
And it would have been points on the board for them again if Mercedes Lewis didn't fumble. But I think after that, he started to make his little adjustments. Right. The pressure started to come on. The coverage was good too. So, DeMeco just didn't stay there and let the first series, he was carving. He was doing his do. The second series, he was moving. And then I think after that, they moved it one more time for that thing, but they ended up punting. But he started to make his little adjustments to help the defense. And then, as me and you were saying, both teams were dominating the line of scrimmage on the defensive side. Yeah. The 49ers defensive line was dominating the line of scrimmage, and the Packers defensive line was dominating the line of scrimmage. It came down to who could make the one little play that can take you over the top. And then when we were watching the game, Shane, and Jimmy threw that costly pick, I think it was at the end of halftime.
Going up to the end.
That threw away the points. Remember the first thing I said? Please don't let us be that Jimmy ruined the 49ers again, because we know what was going to happen. And we talk about that. We said if the Packers win this game, they will crucify Jimmy Garoppolo on that one play. And then me and Shane were talking, and Shane was saying that's the problem with fans. So only Jimmy lost the game for us. They ain't gonna say nothing that the line was getting manhandled. But Jimmy threw that one, and I like I say, I like Jimmy, and I just don't want them to always say Jimmy threw away the game, because that's not the truth. He made one bad play, but for the whole game, he was like 0 for 6 to start, and then.
But it wasn't he fault, right? That 0 for 6 was
exactly.
He was hitting that man in the hands in stride, and the man dropping the balls. dropping the
And that's
balls.
and that's my thing about it. He was there, and then he had a few passes he had, but he was averaging like 46 yards a pass to start.
Mhm.
But you gotta do that if you ain't got no time behind the line.
You gotta take your dump
You
on.
gotta do what you gotta do. And like I said, if you look at the game again, if you look at the offensive stats, no one really dominated each other. It was tight all the way around. But football is played on three levels: offense, defense, and special teams. What turned the tide for the 49ers? That black punt that they scored the touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
That changed.
That
We
changed.
talk about momentum.
No,
That changed momentum.
I don't think that changed the momentum. That was the tie-in square. I don't think that changed the momentum. What changed the momentum was that black field goal going into halftime. When Jimmy Ward get beat after the long bomb down to Aaron Jones, where he didn't cover this Aaron Jones, and then the man went all the way down the field after that, and the man went to kick the field goal to go into halftime. Jimmy Ward
That stalled the momentum here. It stalled the momentum. But when that
we come out now, and then like we come out now, and they still 10-3. We come out now, and I think we stopped them at an force drive, and then we get a ball. Oh no, we stopped. I can't remember what it was, but that was the momentum swing. I think the black punt for the touchdown, I think was the nail in the damn coffin. I think that was the nail in the coffin. Even though we went down the field and kicked the field goal, I think when we blocked that punt and scored that touchdown, I think we sucked every hot air out of that stadium.
And that's why I say that's a momentum swing, because even if you guys, if they had got the punt off, you still had to prove to them that you got to go down and score. That was the issue there.
Yeah.
Because the offense didn't score a touchdown yet. They scored a field goal, but they needed a touchdown. And the whole thing about it was, how are we going to maneuver a way to get this touchdown? Mm-hmm. So I think the black punt was a momentum swing. The return of the black punt for a touchdown was the killer.
Yeah.
So you can block the punt, which change the momentum.
Yeah,
but when you return it for the touchdown, exactly. So just how you say the nail in the coffin, you block the punt with the momentum style, with the momentum shift there. It's bad enough to block the punt, but you take it up and return it for a touchdown. Now the game 10-10, when you couldn't do nothing on offense for the past 5 or 6 years, that was the nail in the coffin.
That was the nail in the coffin.
That was the nail. So I agreed what you said, but when you look at that punt, when they blocked that punt, you knew everything changed because they were in their territory.
And you know,
and it's bad enough to get blocked, but you take it up and run straight. And
you know how funny football is, right? That ball get blocked, that ball in the air for I feel like 10 minutes.
Exactly.
And nobody didn't know where that ball was. Yeah. Nobody. Everybody turning around, looking, and that ball dropped out there in the corner with only the finance can pick it up. And then he pick it up and he ain't fall. That's the thing. I was like, don't jump on it. Pick it up and go in his zone. That to me was good. But you gotta remember too, if you look up until that, Green Bay ain't do nothing for like 3 series before that.
Yeah,
offense wasn't doing nothing until
that's why. And that's why
Aaron Rodgers said that. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers had no touchdown last night. No offensive touchdown. But Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
And you see, that's why I say it was bad that they blocked the punt, but it was even worse that them returned it for a touchdown. That was even worse. That's why I tell you, shit, it's bad enough that blocked the punt, but they went even worse when they returned it for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, D'Amico, I'll give him a lot of credit. His stock as a head coach just went through the roof. So, Shane, you maybe, as one of the commentators say, I guess the 49ers will be looking for a new defensive coordinator after the playoffs.
I can't deal with it.
Yeah, that was a good game plan from D'Amico Ryans. I see that from after the end of that game. That's a good defensive game plan from D'Amico Ryans. But Aaron Rodgers, geez, I'm great, man. I like to see the guy play, but sometimes it's like you said, Shane, he had too much in his head. He was overthinking the game too much. You didn't have to force the ball to Devontae Adams. Yes, he's your best receiver, but use your best receiver as a decoy.
but hasn't that been his mentality throughout his career? From the time Devontae Adams, from the time he had lose Cobb, and from the time he had Devontae Adams, it's like that's the whole reason he get upset with the GM and the coach, and then draft a wide receiver and draft Love, right? And it's like ever since then, Lazard and Scotland ain't playing last night, but Lazard and them. When Lazard and them drop a pass, like Rodgers don't look back at that man again for the rest of the game, And for him to just key in and Devontae Adams, that was easy for our defense.
Right, exactly.
Wherever Devontae line up, we doubling him, we shade him.
Exactly.
And the only time when he was really killing us, he got all he yardage from the slot.
All I just had to do was look at Devontae Smith and look off. Because the safety they're going to can't eyes, can't quarterback.
Yeah.
And see where he going. Look and look off.
But I don't even think the safety was looking at the quarterback. I think the safety role was just wherever Devontae
where Adams is falling, right? Exact shade. You know what I mean?
Wherever Adams goes, shade Adams. So go to the outside.
You remember what me and you talk about, Shane? And I said I was going to tell KG this. It's basically the same thing that happened with the Packers and the Buccaneers. When you play normal playoff game, normal regular season games, you can learn to take advantage of stuff because the team's different. Mm-hmm. When you play in a playoff game, you're playing teams that deserve to be in the playoffs, teams that build close to you, and they're going to know how to take advantage of your flaws.
Exactly.
You know what happened with the Buccaneers and the Packers together? When you only got one dominant receiver and not even to say complementary receivers, you're going to get killed in the playoffs. It can't work in the play. It can work in the regular season.
Yep.
The Packers got Devontae Adams, nobody else, not even a tight end. So if he ain't going to Devontae Adams, he going to Aaron Jones. That ain't going to work for the whole game. That can only work for a certain time.
Right.
The Buccaneers had Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette. Unfortunately, Mike Evans was right up on Ramsey outside of the big touchdown. Fournette was doing his thing.
Yeah.
Them things can't walk in the playoffs for too long. We watched the games. Brady had Scotty Miller ain't gonna scare nobody. The Johnson fella ain't gonna scare nobody. Gronk wasn't doing nothing. They ain't gonna hold up for a whole 48 minutes, a whole 60 minutes. That can't hold up. That's what. And then in the game in Green Bay, we see what happened. The same thing you say, KG. He started to force the ball to Devontae Adams. Right. And he eventually just stopped trusting Lazard and whoever Randall Cobb. They can't do it for him.
Nope. But look at
but it had plays where them guys are open.
Yeah, they did, but he ain't gonna look
but after a while,
but still
after a while, you're gonna stop looking.
I understand that, but
go back to what I said, KG. Mercedes Lewis, he should have asked Mercedes Lewis for some one time. Mercedes Lewis fumbled. You think he passed back?
Exactly.
He passed back. He should have asked the Cobb one time when he forced the ball to Cobb and it wasn't he fault. It get broke up. You think he passed back? He tried to ball to Lazard must have one time on a little fourth down thing. He tried to a couple of times but Lazard only catch one, which was the fourth down. The third
right. Those guys wasn't. Those guys. Okay, so like you say, KG, those guys they had one or two plays that those guys were open. But if you go back and look at it, they probably were open 2 of the 28 routes they run.
Yeah,
he ain't gonna look that way. He ain't gonna look that way. The difference is with Devontae, he don't necessarily have to be open to try to win. And you see, right? He's so used to doing that in the regular season when he play out kind of other low teams that it does work. It couldn't work for him the way he could have done it in the playoffs. If your game plan getting exposed, then you're in trouble. Make it worse. Shane's pass rush stepped up. He had to get the ball open out his hands fast.
Exactly.
There's only one person he could. That's the only one person he could throw that ball to when he getting that pressure is Devontae.
And if they ain't rolling on the
and if they ain't rolling exactly. Right. He can't throw that ball to take. And I tell Shane this last night. The problem with the Packers in that entire game, they had nobody to step up to the plate to help Rodgers and Devontae when you had an excellent defense against them. And we just talk about complimentary receivers. Mm-hmm. You had a complimentary running back, which is AJ Dillon, but you had no complimentary receivers to help. Right. Tanyan was out. He take ACL. The tight end, Mercedes Lewis, he does all to do like bootlegs and them kind of stuff to get it. But you couldn't take away the middle of the field. The middle of the field, they didn't even care about the middle of the field because one of them he was studying the tight end because he don't throw to the tight end without Tanyan.
Exactly.
Lazard and them, they usually get about 3 catches a game. They were non-factors. Randall Cobb, he passed, he prime. He passed, he prime.
He only coming in on certain routes.
Exactly.
And then what happened to is when AJ Dillon went out that game injured to him. He went out with a chest injury, eh? So now your complimentary running back guy. So now I got to feel now Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams, you know.
I think Aaron Jones had about 12 catches for the whole game.
Yeah.
Because remember me, you talk about it on Saturday, KG. You gotta look for your check down player.
Look for your check down players.
Right.
Exactly.
But when you ain't got no receivers to push the secondary back, your check down player can get tackled one time.
But that's what happening. That
was happening last night.
Yeah, because
after a while, they started zoom. D'Amico probably tell them there's 2 players. Don't let them beat you.
Yep.
Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams. If somebody else beat you, that's okay.
And I realized the offensive, whoever calling the plays, when I do them, start bringing in max protect. That's when we start getting through. So Aaron Jones was now blocking, and they took up Mercedes Lewis and putting. I know they put another line, they put a blocking tight, and I don't even know who it was. And we were still getting through on them. So now you only really had Devontae Adams. So what happened? Okay, you ain't lining up Devontae Adams and Mosley no more. So what Mosley was doing? Mosley coming on closer to the line.
If you get max protect, you're gonna run the ball at some point in that game.
But he using Aaron Jones to help block, so he ain't running. And that's what I'm saying.
If you get max protect, run the ball. I guarantee you gain at least 3 yards, 4 yards if you get max protect.
Again, I coming out to my thing. I think LaFleur got outcoached again. If it wasn't LaFleur, it's either he offensive coordinator got outcoached. Somebody got outcoached because, like you say, Casey, if you're gonna sit on there, if Devontae Adams is my star receiver and Devontae Adams is drawing the attention of 2 defenders, he is doing his job.
Yeah,
that means somebody underneath.
Somebody got to be open.
Got to be a running back.
I want to see the R22.
Somebody has to be.
R22 gonna tell you.
It went back to hunt the entire Packers organization in them ass.
That's true.
You didn't bring in no help for Rodgers. You think, you bring back Randall Cobb as if he can go do something. You refuse to give the man any more help. The one help he had, which was Tanyan, who could have controlled the middle of the field, he tear ACL. So you refuse to give Rodgers help like he's a savior. When you go in the playoffs and you play teams that are much more closer in terms of level to you, it can't work. It cannot work. And it's the same thing I was telling Shane today. I said, Shane, the Buccaneers got a serious issue, even if they was to go through with only Mike Evans and nobody else out there. It can't work so easy. You need Godwin and you need Antonio Brown. You cannot get it work.
But you forget what I tell you halfway the game. I say, but it look like I rather want to play the damn Bucks than the
exactly. It ain't gonna work. It cannot work in the playoffs. It doesn't work like that in the play. You can get away with them things when you play in the regular season because the talent and the teams are just different. But that do not work in the playoffs. You're matching up with people very close to your level of play, and they will expose that one weakness. And it get exposed. The 2 teams in the NFC that lose got exposed from the same thing. Now, granted, Tampa Bay lost people because Godwin was injured and Antonio Brown walked out of the field naked. So but you can't win when you don't have your playmakers. Okay, Lazard is a number 5, and even on the Lions, he wouldn't make the number 1 or 2. Randall Cobb, he gonna have to retire. He just can't do no. You can't expect that a team that got ferocious defensive line, ferocious linebacker, solid secondary. You think, and like I said, remember I tell you, Shane, they were moving Devontae Adams around in the slot and everything. They keep moving him around, and the first 2 series, he was making the catches.
Yeah.
I remember what I say. They ain't gonna go on for too much longer
Right.
because they're gonna face here over the game. Who gonna be the one to step up? Nobody step up. Even KG say they had some times that they were open, but were they open enough? No, we can guarantee that. No, not for Rodgers. I think when you said Marquez Valdes-Scantling wasn't playing, that was more crucial because that's one of his trusted people. Lazard is there, but Valdes-Scantling does get catches on a consistent basis. Without Rodgers get exposed. We can diss Rodgers all we want. We could diss LaFleur. But was I surprised of the result? No. The 49ers team way more complete than the Packers. It's easy.
That's true. I'm both sides of football.
They're way more complete. Not because the Packers won number one. Look who in them division. They could sweep the division easy. The 49ers can't sweep the division so easy. It's harder. So of course the records will be different. But if anybody was going in there to think that the 49ers were just gonna get run up at the stadium for the Packers, that means they don't watch football.
Actually, analysts are getting paid for it.
They don't watch football because
I didn't expect that to be a washout. I know it was gonna be a tight game.
Yeah.
If I could find the jackass that said last night on analysts, the 3 analysts do their picks. The partner said he expected to be. He said this was even one of my hardest. This was one of my easiest picks. Packers.
Wow.
And it's gonna be a washout. I was like, what? But he ain't watched the week 3 game. They might have beat us by a field goal.
The problem with these analysts, they don't watch games. They just go by what they see on ESPN or whatever highlight views that they look at and stuff like that. These analysts don't watch games. These analysts aren't die-hard fans like how we are. Like we that actually sit down and watch games. These analysts they only watch little previews or something, and that's about it. These analysts don't watch games and look at stats. They don't
watch.
Every analyst pick the Packers. One analyst says I'm gonna watch it. The second one say 31-27. The next one said 31-24. And I sit down there and I like, and remember when we beat the Cowboys, right? When we beat the Cowboys, we had our show. And I was like, buy the Packers. And then I say, wait a minute. I just remember we played a man, we treated a man, had to beat us in the last seconds of the game with a field goal. And I was like, and we ain't even half the team, that team that you see with Chi is nowhere close to the team what you see now. We didn't have Elijah Mitchell was even the starting running back. We had Trey Sermon was the starting running back. You know what I'm saying? We lose Jason Verrett. We still lost him, but now we got the Avery Thomas. He was out too. That has scared me. I swear to God that D'Amico gonna make the big mistake and start Josh Norman. But D'Amico is a G because he started Deontay Johnson over Josh Norman.
Right.
And thank God Deontay Johnson come back because I had done see Aaron Rodgers was lined up, just throw the ball to Devontae Adams. If Josh Norman and Devontae Adams, he would throw the ball that way. And I was almost gonna say bear team and put Josh Norman out there and lead the safety, just coop it. And pick him off.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think I'm gonna set up to be an analyst. I don't know. I think I need to get paid.
I tell you, these analysts. Sometimes you watch these games. These analysts talking, you be like, wait, you actually watching these games? I mean, they're just talk a bunch of nonsense.
You see, they judge players and teams, and when them just go there and do these fancy stuff. So Aaron Rodgers will go there and make these fancy plays and so. But you ain't watching who he's doing it against. I can't go there and analyze Aaron Rodgers playing the Lions and say that Aaron Rodgers elite just from that game. That don't make no sense. The Lions is nowhere compared to Aaron Rodgers and that. But let me see him do it on a consistent basis against like 3 straight top 10 teams. Then I can say, if we go back and watch the games that he played top 10 teams, the games are always close. Something had to be done for him to win. But we always knew that team, something gonna happen with that team soon because they refuse to get a man help. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. You can only do so much when you're throwing the ball in, but if you ain't got nobody to throw the ball to, it gonna happen.
He ain't got nobody to spread the ball around.
Exactly, and it happened with Brady too. Brady was treading. Brady lead the league in yards and touchdowns this year, treading people with he top 3 receivers. Them 3 receivers that Brady had, they could be number ones on any other team. And I tell you, from time them went down, you got. You know how I could tell that analysts and commentators stupid in the play today when Ramsey gave up the big touchdown. The commentators say, unbelievable. The safety shaded to the other side of the the field and left Ramsey and everyone's one-on-one. And
That's the game plan.
I laugh and I tell Shane, but who this commentator is that ain't good in the head? Because that's the game plan. Ramsey going one-on-one, he gonna win the battle 9 times out of 10.
Exactly.
The game plan is to shade the other side so that the others got more help to think and let Ramsey take out the other side of the field. When I hear the commentator say, unbelievable, them share the safety, I say, but this guy ain't good in the head at all.
That's Chris Collinsworth.
Thank you. I was going to say
that's the similar Chris Collinsworth. He that chatty rubbish now and again.
I say I couldn't believe it because if you go, I don't care who you talk to on the ramp, they will tell you. Well, we would have thing out there do that 100 straight times.
Yep.
Okay, he scored. He scored. That's because Ramsey didn't even expect that. But normally when you go deep on Ramsey, Ramsey don't expect him to throw the ball because that's a risk. So like he probably didn't even thought that they were throwing the ball thing when he only realized last minute that them catch the ball on him. But why would I put a safety over to my number 1 all-pro elite cornerback?
Would make sense.
Yeah, and the commentator say unbelievable. I say no, man. I say no. Something got to be wrong with these.
He's a fool. He's a fool because the same thing when Devontae Adams. Anytime Devontae Adams had laid up on Mosley good, but he's not elite. You know what I'm saying? The safety wasn't shading that side. It's like for the time come Mosley done battle tested. Mosley done went up Metcalf. Hopkins, Mosley go against these men. And I kind of sorry that we wasn't moving. Remember at a point too, she were like, bye, he killed us in the slot. We got Kwan Williams in the slot. He's a good slot corner, but he can't
match up to Devontae Adams. Yeah.
Devontae Adams is a rope magician that.
Exactly.
I put Mosley, leave Mosley play man and then move Kwan out on the slot. But then again, Miko says to the base and say anytime what we're gonna do control one side of the field and leave Devontae Adams be the one moving around the field like he's foolish. And that's like I said, only when he was in the slot was when he started making big catches. And again, yes, Devontae Adams had big yardage. And the same thing he had in the first game against us. He got big yardage. But did he put points on the board? No. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't stop elite receivers from getting them catches. You can't. It's impossible to shut down an elite receiver. Especially one that could run routes. You know what I'm saying? You cannot. Unless the quarterback just ain't throwing the ball to him. But once your quarterback throwing the ball to an elite receiver, he gonna catch the ball, he gonna make it plays. You know what I'm saying? I know and look, I know them passes just ridiculous up there, partner. I see some passes there from freaking Josh Allen, some tight ropes. I see some passes from Mahomes. I ain't want to see it.
I want one.
I know, but I ain't want to see them. But again, I'm glad Aaron just take that humbling experience, and I don't know if he gonna retire or if he gonna try to come out.
He come back to Green Bay.
No, I don't think he might be Green Bay. I'll still take him in San Fran, but because he got more options in San Fran, he got more complete a team.
Green Bay got over 45 million in cap space.
Yeah, they can't have it because Devontae Adams have gone too.
Yeah, he going to.
Yeah, over 45 million. That's it.
That's it for the Packers.
Yeah, they're gonna have to rebuild. That's it. Yeah, they're gonna have to rebuild.
It's time for them to rebuild it.
KG, that's similar just to the play. Like I tell you on Madden.
Yeah.
You see the safety like stand grung and then lead a man passing full speed. Well, I mean, what you could see, boy. I'm glad, like I tell Shane yesterday, I was rooting for him, even though I wanted him to lose still, but I wasn't surprised. It was bound to happen.
Yeah, I wanted Rodgers to win, you know what I mean? Because he's one of the greats, but come on, man. He had a bad game. I ain't gonna lie. He had a bad game.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Shit, I got one of these for you next week, you know.
Yeah,
the SF, you say, I'm going to put it on chest next week.
Don't get me started, please.
Oh, man.
Do not get me started.
I entered the NFC Championship game, guys, and I got against the Rams. But my divisional rival Rams that haven't beaten us in 6 games. They're going to be coming at us with a lot of momentum, a lot of things to prove. And I
It's
think
gonna be a good game. It's gonna be another.
Yeah,
It's gonna be another good game.
I think they're gonna get blown out this time. I just think they're gonna get blown out this time, pal. I think they're gonna get blown out like the first time we play them.
I
I think it'll be a blow. I think
I
I will win,
don't
but
think
it's gonna
so.
be a
I
blow.
don't think so. I don't
I
think
think
it's
it'll
gonna
be
be
a
a blow.
I think they'll come at us with everything I've had in that week 18 game. They're coming at 17 nothing. I think I'm gonna get exploited. I don't know. I think I'm gonna get exploited. I think Shanahan done in the film room watching the Tampa Bay game. I think I'm gonna get exploited. Stafford, what happened? What happened to Tampa Bay rush defense? What happened to them rush defense this week? Today, I didn't see it.
After that,
I didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see it.
Stafford getting the ball out. Stafford getting the ball out too.
Yeah, but they're now running deep routes too.
Yeah,
Cooper running deep routes. Odell.
But anybody in that defense could stop Coop. They stop Cooper Cup.
They had a point in time I asked Sheely why Odell always open. I mean, not like with a receiver running behind him, a close by. Odell was wide open on a lot of plays. It's like, what happened?
He's a good runner too.
I know, but I mean, if he's a good runner, but the cornerback gonna be somewhere in the vicinity.
Let me tell you something. When the Eagles played him, Devontae Smith was open a lot. You understand?
So
he was open a lot. I went back and watched the R22. Devontae Smith was open a lot. He was open at least 80% of the time. Because them man were going single coverage straight on you. So if you got a good quarterback and you got decent receivers, you can eat. You can eat. And that's what happened in that game. You got Cooper Cup, you got Odell, and you got Stafford. You're going to eat.
That's what I was saying. I think halfway to that game, I was like, bye, I'd rather play the Bucs right now. I play the Rams. Because the Rams coming to play us. The Rams going to come to play us.
If I had to play the Bucs, Kittle would have eaten that game. Kittle and Debo would have eaten that game.
Yeah.
Built up.
Somebody got to eat.
So, the NFC Championship game is going to be a good game. We're going to see who's going to be in the AFC. We already know the Bengals going in. We're going to see whether it's going to be the Chiefs or the Bills. We'll see.
A good game right here right now, sir.
Yeah.
So
these guys these two quarterbacks playing some good football. I need one. I need one. I need one of these guys.
So that's all I gotta say about my Niners, guys. I answer the next week Sunday. I'm gonna be here. I don't know if it's gonna be the all of the league game. I think I'll be the league.
It's a late one. It's a late one.
Yeah, because AFC play all in.
Yeah.
AFC play late.
NFC is normally late game.
NFC playing 6:30.
Yeah.
And the AFC playing 3 o'clock, just like today.
Some good games again.
Yeah.
And the game is if whoever win here, got go to Cincy or Cincy got to go.
No. Cincy is below all of them.
Yeah, Cincy got below. Yeah.
There's 2 versus 3, so Cincy 4.
And we going them to SoFi.
Yeah.
In Vision of Red again, them. Don't start blocking the tickets already. So damn worthless. So what else is new? What else going on in the football world?
Yeah, we had a good conversation last night.
We had a good conversation last night. We had the conversation of the defensive coordinator saying Jalen Hurts carry the defense.
Your defensive coordinator said
no, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive coordinator was not a defensive. I think the D-backs coach was saying he can't read. We're gonna get him all game.
Okay.
You understand? That's shameful for the defensive coordinator to be saying that about your quarterback. And he was just saying it loud and free. You know what I mean? So like I said, next year Jalen Hurts will have a lot to prove. He will have a lot to prove next year if they don't get a quarterback in the draft in a trade. If he comes back next year as a quarterback, he will have a lot to prove. And rightfully so, he does deserve to be back. with them making the playoffs. So,
Yeah, if
but
he, yeah, with him in the
but
playoffs, but then he got to come out with the same, not with
got
the
to come
same,
up
not the
much
same as
better
the last game, but he got to come out
because
hot.
because defenses now is gonna do what the Buccaneers and what other teams normally do: stuff the backs and make Jalen Hurts beat you with his arm. So that's gonna happen next year.
Yeah,
If he's the quarterback next year, that's what you're gonna see. Nobody's gonna. They're not gonna let the run game dominate all game like it was later on in the season. They're gonna whoever we play in week one is gonna be, and if Jalen Hurts is a quarterback, stuff the backs and make Jalen Hurts beat you with his arm. So right now he should be working on his mechanics, finding a way to where he could throw with anticipation, and also see if his mechanics could somehow make his arm a little stronger.
yeah.
So we'll see. I hope Jonathan Gannon get a coaching job because
You want him gone?
I want him gone because look at what the Rams did against the Buccaneers. They had Jalen Ramsey and Mike Evans all game. All game. You Jonathan Gannon, why you didn't do that with Darius Smith? So I want him gone. I hope he's gone. I hope the Texans side it. So, like how the same way how Shrede wants Matt Rule to be gone, I want Jonathan Gannon gone. Because if Jonathan Gannon come back, we're gonna have the same nonsense defense next year.
But I ain't hearing no talk about nobody looking at him or he looking to
The
go
Texans,
anywhere.
no, he getting a second interview.
The Texans are highly impressed with his fourth interview.
Yeah, so he getting a second interview.
Yeah, but he ain't going those. Texans going with some other Patriots or something like that.
But I heard,
Cesario and those
but I
guys.
heard the Texans want what the quarterback name?
Josh McCown, he had an interview.
Yeah.
He had an interview, yeah.
Josh McCown.
Since when Josh McCown is a coach?
I hear he's a bright mind, but Josh McCown he never called a play in the NFL yet. He even an offensive coordinator, a quarterback coach.
I don't understand.
Why? I know they say because the Eagles have like him too, because them say he's a good scout, he's a good at scouting talent and stuff like that. But at the same time, he doesn't have any coaching experience.
If he got
All he got at is coaching. I know he has high school coaching football experience because he coaches his son high school football team. But other than that, he doesn't have no NFL coaching experience.
if you're good at scouting,
My thing is, you have all these. Why is nobody looking at Eric Bieniemy? That's another question again. Why is no one looking at Eric Bieniemy? You know what I mean?
I have no idea.
Todd Bowles should be getting more interviews.
True.
D'Amico Ryan should be getting more interviews. I don't know.
It coming close down to it because as the teams go less and less that's still playing, you're gonna hear more talks about the coaching and
I
everything.
hear like one of on the radio show in Philadelphia, Mike Missionelli, he said some of these white coaches have this golden boy look. You know what I mean? So a lot of these owners are going for that. So
Okay, but keep on going about that and team them again winning games. Let's see what happens.
well, exactly. So we'll see. There's no reason why the Texans should have fired David Culley.
There's no reason Miami should have played up Brian Flores.
Brian Flores, exactly. And I ain't anybody talking about looking at Flores neither.
Yeah,
He got eat things.
the Bears that look at him.
The Bears and who else?
I think Brian
The,
Flores that look
the
at
Texans looking at him too because of the Patriots background.
The Patriots way.
him. But I think the Texans pull out because they may keeping Deshaun.
Yeah, he wanted Deshaun, but Deshaun ain't stay.
So we'll see.
So we got what next week? My game. The two games are the same day.
Yeah, on the
Yes,
same day. So we'll do your preview next Saturday,
And then Sunday.
and on
Sunday might be dead.
Tuesday. On Tuesday, we're gonna have our special guest on the show.
Rise
We're
up.
gonna, we're gonna have one of our guys come on from the ATL to talk about the daughter boards.
Oh, KZ, you got you check on Lennox.
But I even check on here. You got
They check,
send
make
you a
sure
message.
he ain't jump out the cliff last night. He didn't jump out the roof last night. They say he ain't jump out the cliff last night.
He probably cussing right now.
Make sure he ain't jump out the cliff. I know that I hear it. I seen a lot of things again. I know the Tampa Bay fans say look like them. They're in an uproar partner. No, you're not like that.
For what? Uproar for what?
Why you know these Florida fans? They're mad. They're mad. I'm upset. I'm tired of having another championship on.
They got one.
I'm tired of having another.
Be happy. Yeah, but you wasn't going to win without Godwin, like she just said before. You wasn't going to win without Godwin and Antonio Brown.
Yeah,
No,
You actually.
don't tell them that them had Tom Brady.
But you gotta be stupid as a fan to think that. I know sometimes Brady could carry a team, right? But he don't have Bill Belichick as a head coach. You understand? Maybe if Bill Belichick was the coach, you know what I mean? Then maybe you could say, yeah, because 9 times out of 10 we seen the Patriots done it with some no-name receivers. Like who's a Chris Hogan right now? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So we've seen the Patriots done it with no-name receivers because of Brady and Bill Belichick. They come up with a decent game plan. But we have not. But Bruce Arians ain't no Bill Belichick. You understand? Todd Bowles is not a Bill Belichick. You understand? Bill Belichick comes out with a good game plan. He takes away your best weapons and he makes you use your other receivers or playmakers and see if they could beat you. That's what he does. So I guarantee if Bill Belichick was coaching that game, Cooper Kupp wasn't going to have that big game. Maybe Odell would have a big game, but Cooper Kupp wasn't going to have a big game.
So let me ask you this: Tom Brady done?
He's going to be back. Because he might be back. He's going to be back.
I don't think so.
You think he'll be back?
I think that's it for Tom.
I think he'll play one more year.
My thing is that that team gonna change a lot.
Yeah, they can't afford to keep all that fellas on the team level.
And I don't know if he could actually. He gonna want that team got to stay close and intact for him to come back. I don't think that gonna happen.
Well, he could retire. He did enough.
Exactly.
He did enough already.
Man, that's
He did enough.
7 Super Bowl.
7 Super Bowls, 2-3 MVPs. He did enough.
He can relax, man.
He did enough. He already is a great.
Yep. He's a good. So Tuesday, we have Rise Up coming on the show.
Yep.
We'll talk a little bit more about, I guess, the ending of this game,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll talk a little bit maybe about the upcoming matchups and any breaking news that happened between now and Tuesday. Any coaching changes? If KG get he wish, she didn't get he wish, so he got to take this coaching staff how it is right now. And hopefully, I'm leave my damn Danico Reyes alone. I'm still, they're just harassing the man during the day. Somebody got called tempering somewhere. I got to call Goodell. Distractions.
Right.
We gotta see what Aaron just taking time to decide what he want to do. Brady probably gonna take some time. He said, yeah, Brady already come up and say he taking some time to see what he gonna do. You know,
But he may, like you said, he might retire. He may realize Godwin ain't coming back. Antonio Brown ain't coming back. Gronk is now a year older.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? OJ Howard ain't no great tight end. Cameron Braid ain't no great tight end. You know what I mean?
I don't think them can afford. I don't know what Ndamukong Suh contract looking like, but I don't know.
Right, exactly.
He can't afford to bring him
back.
back.
Them coming back. So I mean, Scotty Miller ain't no. You know what I mean? So I don't know if they might be able to try to sign somebody in free agency, but what are you gonna say really? So Brady might call it quits. Might just say this. That was my last hurrah, unless I'm done.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is coming back.
Not the Green Bay. He might call it quits if you don't get it right. If we don't get it right offer, because he hand is right now. I think he think he's hot shit. I mean, you're good, but I think he had a little swell where he could demand. Where he think he go out and demand and tell people what he want to do. That's the thing. That's the thing I feel about him.
If I'm the Broncos, I'm looking hard at Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I'm looking hard at Aaron Rodgers if I'm the Broncos. I'm taking a hard go. Even the 49ers, I'm taking a hard go at Rodgers.
I think so too.
I take a hard go. 'Cause he got at least 3 more years left in him.
And that's why I say. That's why I say a 3-year
Right.
contract. My approach to him would be come to the 49ers. You know you want to play for us. You grow up being a
Right.
fan. I'll give you 3 years. Use my starter. And look at our team. Our team build to run.
Mm-hmm.
Build to run to take a deep run into this thing. I say 3 years. You can get 3 freaking rings.
Mm-hmm.
I say let's go. You have the defense. You have the wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? You have the young coaches. Let's go. Let's make this thing happen. 3 years, 3 rings.
Mm-hmm.
And go out on top. I would love to see number 12 in a fucking final jersey right now.
So yeah. So the next show is Tuesday. We have Rise Up coming on, and we'll talk about these games, and we'll have our NFC and AFC players of the week, good players of the week, and our trash bag players of the week.
I think I don't know where I'm going already.
You go bet where mine going already. So yeah.
Right. So then we're gonna talk on Tuesday. We'll you know what I'm saying, like KG said, we implement Rise Up into the game, into the talk, and then just give our takes and our trash bags of the week of our divisional games, and then get ready for the NFC Championship games coming up on Sunday.
Yep.
And then we bring it all up.
So
all right. Go back in now and finish watch this exciting game going on here. Come on, Big Josh.
Yeah, we'll see. So peace out and good night.
All right,
All right, everybody.